One other aspect I'd really love to see, which I know they're thinking about already, and it's already a big issue, is the idea of having a permanent collection of art, design for M+. Now, what's interesting about having a collection generated by kind of a government authority, I guess, is that it's a little bit unnatural and it's a little bit artificial. That's not to say it will necessarily be bad, but it's, in history at least, many of the private museums who have kind of become major forces in institutional art, Guggenheim, Whitney, MoMA, were all started by private collectors who, through their own passion and their own interest, without any kind of government assistance, formed the seeds of what we now know as the institutional world for contemporary art, or for really art in general. In our rush to create West Kowloon Cultural District and have a world-class museum, a multidisciplinary museum, I hope that the individuals, not the government, not the policymakers, not the architects, but the actual public, understand that it's their responsibility as much as it is the government's to help formulate this private collection. Most kind of museum collections were created by and continue to be endowed and expanded through private donation of works as well as funding. Now, it's unlikely that M+ will be a success if they're unable to develop this system of patronage and the culture of giving, of gifting. And I think that it's our responsibility to take that on. And if there's a way that we can help encourage that through the process of this district, then I think that is absolutely critical to the success of M+, and therefore the district itself. I think in general Hong Kong has a tendency to over-engineer things and overthink how things should develop. They want to think about the finished product and they want to generate the finished product. And I think for something like this, especially in terms of culture, you must leave room for the unknown, because that's ultimately what will create a more natural and organic development of culture in all of the disciplines, in theater and music and visual arts. So I hope that when you're designing, or when the master planners are designing everything, they hold back a little bit. Just hold back a little bit. Don't try to figure out everything, and don't try to make space for everything. Just under-engineer and remain adaptive and remain flexible over time, and understand that the West Kowloon Cultural District will never be a finished product. It's always going to be a work in process. And maybe that's also why software is so important to this whole kind of endeavor, because the hardware is all about the finished product, and I think that the software is really what drives the process. It's the people.